Well, hello there. This is My Life as a Landlord, and I am Dr. Jen. I'm so pleased that you are educating yourself in your landlording business. It seems that more and more business is done on some kind of a gadget these days, a phone, a laptop, a watch, something digital. Today, we talk more about digitizing rental management, streamlining processes, and the ever expanding use of AI in business, particularly when it comes to real estate. From chilly Ottawa, welcome to the show, Alex Thoric. And you're laughing.
Well, because that is chilly. Thank
It
you.
is chilly.
Yeah,
What's the temperature there now?
we just had a snowstorm yesterday, so I was on the walk with my dog this morning, and there was a lot of snow. Like,
A lot of snow.
yeah,
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you were saying that it was gonna dump what, 40 to 50 centimeters. Did it
yep,
actually do that
yeah,
much?
yeah, yeah.
Oh
It was,
boy.
yeah.
So
They're still cleaning.
For my American friends, that's 2 feet of snow. That's a lot.
It
Yikes.
is. It is.
Well, tell us about your marketing company. This is really cool. You've got Blue Ocean Strategy, a book in the background behind you. Tell us how you operate.
Sure. Yeah, we'll be happy to share. Um, I'll give you a quick backstory. So, I started a marketing agency 6 years ago with a couple of my business partner, my friends, who turned out to be business partners. And people told us friendship and business is not the same thing, and we thought, no, no, we're gonna figure it out. So, at the end of the day, we didn't. But one of the friends, who was actually my best friend and he still is, he kept on doing that. Well, I basically left, started my own from the beginning. He kept on doing that. So we were kind of at that point solo as the founders of two different agencies. And then we would meet sometimes from time to time and exchange different ideas, exchange clients um, from different industries. And one day we sat down, we started going through the best performing clients that we had for the best performing marketing strategies that we have used, and we realized that there is one common pattern that businesses have. And when I say businesses, I'm mostly referring to service-based businesses. And when I say that, is because each and every service-based business, they pretty much, I mean, the fundamentals are pretty much the same, and that's what we like to focus on because the fundamentals never change. Of course, today with AI is just an addition to the fundamentals, because again, at the end of the day, human psychology is human psychology, and we need I don't know, I think 1,000 years needs to pass in order for the psychology to change a little bit, maybe. But yeah, so we decided to come together and uh, create and build a marketing consultancy, marketing training company, where now we teach business owners on how they could build out marketing systems themselves, or I should say, we help them build them. We teach them how to run them so they can do it on their own, or their team members could do it. Because a lot of times, what we've noticed also is that business owners, entrepreneurs, they don't necessarily know the numbers. They don't necessarily know what to look at, what to track, all the KPIs. Like we can start talking about all these different um, terms. And that's why we wanted to basically build a system where where we can take them by the hand, guide them through every step of the way, and they have a full-on working marketing machine.
Very cool. Now, I've heard lots and lots of numbers when we're dealing with digitizing and marketing and stuff like that. And one of the numbers that stuck out, which I would love for you to explain a little bit more, and it's this number set 7, 11, 4.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? 7, 11, and 4.
So the 7-11-4, it kind of became a rule. So Google wanted to see how much it was a study created by Google. They wanted to see how much time does it take a person to become a customer of a company, whether it's offline or online, but specifically these days. So based on all of their research, they realized that a person needs to consume at least 7 hours of content, have 11 touch points across four different platforms or channels. So 7 hours of content could be watching videos, could be listening to podcasts. In case with touch points, those could be ads, those could be emails, phone calls, text messages, and everything in between. And then for different platforms, that could be a billboard on the street, a radio ad, or again, ads on social media, emails, text messages. So let's say if somebody gets into your funnel, then in that case, you could definitely have covered at least those four of those platforms.
Gotcha. I'm just Googling 7-Eleven. I didn't realize it was Google that did it. So I threw it
Yeah.
into Google while you're talking. So Google 7-Eleven for rule, and there's lots and lots of takes on that. I get it. Here's a question for you, Alex. My husband has gotten deep into AI and he goes way crazy. I mean, I know you can get up to 2,000 characters now, and the original search was only like 30, but now it's way bigger. He's thinking that the free AI tools versus the paid AI tools, do we need to pay for it?
Honestly, me personally, like let's say if we talk about ChatGPT type of a thing or
Yeah.
Claude, or there are lots of them, right? Gemini. But let's say if I personally use ChatGPT because for me they're all pretty much the same. Um, till this day, I'm still using a free version. There is a difference between free and paid. It's just it gives you more options. So let's say in case with a free version, with ChatGPT, you could only if you need to create images, you can only create I think 3 images a day. So if you're someone who you wants to use that everything within one platform, then yes, it makes sense. If you want ChatGPT to add it, let's say if you're writing a book and you want ChatGPT to add it that the free version will do some work for you. It will give you some feedback. The paid version can literally be your editor.
Oh, so
Yeah.
it's way
So you
more.
could, yeah, you can upload. So you upload the full file, let's say a Google Doc or a what do you call it? Microsoft Word, because we're using Google Docs a lot. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I live in the Google world. So yeah, you can literally upload the whole file, and it will go through the entire book, and the book can be what 150, 200, 250 pages,
Okay.
and it will do the editing, proofreading, and everything that you need.
So what I'm understanding is that, yeah, you can pay for more services and it's still AI, but it can be like, for example, I know Mike paid for one. He paid
Mhm.
for an AI, I forget which one he's using the app, and he can save his searches, which then it sort of indexes them because he's now paying to have that memory. But so, okay, so it's not necessarily that the AI is better, it's the tools supporting those AI searches are more profound, more robust.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
they are.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Very
Because
cool.
again, fundamentals are the same, right? Even in the
Right.
AI world. Yeah. Like in case with
Gotcha.
AI, for example, there is an app called Opus.pro for the short form content.
What's it
You
called again? Sorry.
Opus.pro.
Opus.
Yeah, dot pro. So what
Okay.
what it does is you could take the long form content. So let's say it could be a YouTube video, it could be just a file on your computer. You can upload into that, and then instead of let's say manually editing the short clips, it will edit everything for you. It will add captions. It will cut wherever you wanted to cut. You could add specific keywords that you wanted to focus on. Because let's say, for example, if during today's conversation, you like specific parts and you know that this is what will get people's attention, you could within Opus.pro, you could write those keywords. It could be, for example, AI, and it will start looking for the specific moments in the clip. And the video can be literally like an hour long.
Right. Okay. So opus.pro. So I just Googled it while we're talking. So it's www.opus.pro. Interesting. Okay, so this is different. This is something that I actually am going to have to get into because as we do more and more video aspects of the podcast, which you and I've talked about how YouTube is turning the podcast world on its head, the
Hmm.
video aspect is going to get bigger and bigger. Um, okay, interesting. Let's see. I
Yeah,
had
so
no,
there are
please.
honestly there are a lot of different tools. Like Opus.pro is something that we are using, but each and every edit video editing tool these days they're adding that as an addition, but they're not as good. Like I've tried it within other ones. They also chop down the clips from longer form video to short, but it's I don't know that their AI is not capturing those really interesting points. What Opus does is they give you kind of a grade where
Oh,
they
great.
tell you,
Okay.
yeah, they literally give you a grade like A, B, or C, and they give you like let's say 77 out of 100, 85 out of 100, and it explains why Opus thinks this clip will perform well on social media.
Hmm,
Yeah,
interesting. So
yeah,
it's predicting what's going to go viral
yeah,
and what's not. That's
yeah.
interesting. Um, so let's talk more about your marketing company, service-based. So in the real estate world, service-based transactions, property management.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Real estate transactions. So real estate agents and brokers who are doing transactions in real estate, title transfers. What else in real estate can your marketing company support? Advertising,
Investors,
rentals,
yeah,
advertising. Yeah.
advertising
Okay.
rentals, yeah, investors looking for investment properties because they could
Okay.
literally, yeah, they could literally run an ad in the local area that they're interested in,
Hmm.
and people will engage with that. So maybe instead of calling property owners, they can also see it that way.
Interesting. Very cool. One question I have about AI, and just it just seems that everything is getting faster and faster every day. It's just you can do more with AI. It's slower to have a person do emails and scheduling and things like that. And I'm getting better at it, but I seem to be, as fast as I am, I seem to be getting behind, which brings up another question with building codes, for example. Building codes are so slow to update. They'll update every 4, 5, 6 years, whatever it is. And then you've got municipalities, you've got cities, you've got provinces, states that change their regulations or their bylaws maybe for real estate based on, sometimes they're based on building codes and sometimes they're not. Technology, at one point was doubling every 2 years. You think it's going faster than that now?
Way faster, yeah. Like
Yeah.
yeah, it feels like there's a software for multiple different softwares that come out every single day. I don't know how many of those will stick around. I mean, Opus or let's say OpenAI as the main one because a lot of
Hmm.
different softwares they're built based on their code.
Okay.
Yeah. So those
Well,
guys will definitely stick around, but a lot of the other apps, I think it's going to be like in the dot-com bubble or
you think
what
it's going to be a dot-com bubble? Okay.
it could be that, or at least something similar to what happened with, you remember when we had the whole rush with NFTs?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like 99 point, what, 9% of them are gone.
Just fizzled. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
There are
My
certain projects that are active, like for example, Gary V's project, that when he did the V Friends, and that yes, there is value because they have events, they have this whole community, but yeah.
Gary Vaynerchuk, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of what he's doing. I think it's really
Yeah, yeah,
interesting
yeah.
with technology, but he's injecting emotional intelligence in it, and I think he's just fascinating to watch. And he and I are the same age, which I think is really interesting as
Hmm.
well. So because I live in the building permits world, building permits and development permits. I mean, I do that on both sides of the border in the US and in Canada. My biggest concern is that we've got AI speeding up technology, speeding up all of it, and regulations are going, they're already behind. And it just seems that it's just going to be this train wreck. I just keep wondering, is there a way that somebody's going to be forward thinking enough to fold AI into updating bylaws or regulations? Just seems that all that stuff is so hands-on
I
that
think
they're not going to
so.
let it in.
I think so because I think yesterday or a day before yesterday, I saw this report that because Elon Musk is in charge of Doge right now, right?
Right, right.
Uh, it's funny that they took exactly the same name as the meme coin, but I don't know if there is if that's a coincidence or they did it on purpose. Um, but
We could
yeah,
argue
so
all that.
but yeah, so I saw this report where he was basically explaining because he's in charge of it now, that people in the US, so the US Department of, I don't remember what it's called, but the department that's in charge of retirement, basically,
Okay.
that they are doing everything manually.
Oh, Social Security. Yes.
It could be, yes. Yeah, yeah. And he said that in the US, only 10,000, they can process only 10,000 people per month, I think he said, that can retire. Only 10,000 people a month because everything is being done manually through the
Manually.
paperwork. Yeah. So with him being in charge of it and knowing how much he likes technology,
Yeah.
I think yeah, I think a lot of things will change. And also like Trump being in real like he built everything in the real estate world, right? So I think they'll definitely push technology in each and every industry.
You know, the American people elected Trump. They elected a disturber, and here he is disturbing. I mean, because Mike and I operate on both sides of the border. I mean, what does Ottawa think of Trump saying that Canada is going to be the 51st state? Like, what?
I don't know. I don't well I've what I like to do is when I see content on social media, I go into the comment section to see what people say, basically. What people talk about, what people say, right? Their opinions, their view. And a lot of people are saying, "Oh, Canadians have never been so patriotic before Trump became president again."
Oh, that's not true. Oh, that's not true at all. Have they, I
But
don't know,
yeah,
people saying that, have they ever been to a hockey game? Holy
oh
moly,
yeah, no, no, no. Well, hockey is different, I guess.
right? Oh my
Uh,
goodness. Oh my goodness. Well, let's shift gears for a second, Alex. A lot of folks out there who are listening to this podcast fall into one of two buckets. One of them is they are experienced real estate owners, landlord operators, even property managers, and they're looking for the nuggets. They're looking for the different little nuggets that we're providing them. And then you've got the other bucket where the listener is either brand new and they are have been thrown into this, like they inherited something or their neighbor came over and said, "Hey, buy my house," and or they're about to get into it. So they're either brand new or they're seasoned. And let's talk to the brand new guys. When they're launching their entrepreneurial journey, they're just getting started in real estate. Most of them are just getting started in business. They've never had a business before at all. What do you say to those newbies?
well, the first thing I would say is start investing in yourself. Start
Okay.
reading books, watching webinars, going to events, learning from people that have been there, done that, like yourself.
Hmm.
Another thing that what they could do to fast track that process is start using AI to where, let's say, if they like, I don't know, let's say a specific type of people in the real estate industry, or, well, yeah, if we talk about real estate, like give me an example of someone well known in the real estate space.
You want me to give you an
Yeah.
example? Well known.
Yeah.
Okay, how about Grant Cardone?
Okay, well, that's a good example. Has a different style, but I don't know if it's gonna work for a newbie. But let's say Grant Cardone. Yeah. So what you could do is, um, actually, it is a perfect example because he has a lot of content on social media. So what you could do is go to ChatGPT and then say act as a real estate business advisor and help me create a strategy to build a portfolio based on whatever your goal is similar to what Grant Cardone's doing. And then you can put in as much information as you want to, or I should say you should put as much information as possible in order to get a great answer. Because the way AI works is the way it works is the quality of the question will give you the quality of the answer. So if you're gonna ask like a super simple
Oh,
question where it's say, um, I don't know, tell me how to build a real estate portfolio like Grant Cardone, it will take certain things out of his content and give it to you. But if you go into all the details and maybe you mention, I don't know, specifically you want to specifically work with single homes or I don't know, specific type of portfolio that you want to build, right? So the
Yeah.
more details, the more information that you give to AI, the better answer you're going to get. And then after that, when it gives you all of those things, you ask, okay, now create me an action plan. What am I supposed to do on a daily
Mm.
basis? And break it down to like usually when we work with clients, we look at the whole year and then we look at their goal. We break it into, of course, it's the annual goal. It's then we break it into quarterly, monthly, weekly, as well as daily goals. Because if you're not doing your daily goals, there's no way you'll be able to achieve your yearly goal. And I don't know if you've heard of the stats that 80% of people give up on their goals by February 1st.
Isn't that sad?
Yeah, it
On
is.
their New Year's,
Yeah, their New Year's
yeah,
resolutions. Yeah,
resolutions.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I bet it's
And
higher than that. I bet it, sadly, I bet it's higher.
it
Hmm.
could be. It could be. And
Yeah.
apparently, I was on another podcast, and the host shared with me that apparently there is a National Quitters Day, which is January 16th, I think he told me. Yeah, it's literally the name.
Terrible. That is terrible. Well, because we are recording this February 14th, 2025. Ugh, I would just wonder how many people have their New Year's resolution keep going. I mean, we do annual. Do you have your goals written down, Alex?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so do I. And so does Michael and I both do. We have our annual goals here, which
yeah.
just like you say, but it takes discipline.
It does. Yeah.
It's hard.
Speaking of discipline, so on my phone, whenever I unlock it, my background says discipline focus.
Discipline and focus. Oh, that's your background.
Yeah. So it's more, yeah. So it's a reminder for me to stay the course.
I love it. I love it. Alex, thanks so much. If a listener is interested in contacting you, how do they get a hold of you?
They can reach out to me on social media. Honestly, any platform, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, it's at Alex Thoric. If you guys prefer emails, it's alex at buildingincomeondemand.com.
Right. So Alex Thoric, AlexThoric.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. And full transparency, Alex also has a podcast that I have been on called Building Income on Demand podcast. So check it out. Very cool. We had a very interesting conversation, just recording that's going to air in April sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just so excited for you. I can't wait to see what you're doing in your business. And I know some of the things that are coming up in 2025 for you. So I'm excited to see you launch. That's great.
Oh, thank
Alex,
you.
any parting thoughts?
Yeah, I would like to share a quote with you that I've heard of it years ago, I think 8 years ago, and it got stuck with me since then. So it goes like this: a river cuts through rock not because of its power, but because of its persistence.
Oh, say it again, will you please?
Yeah, a river cuts through rock not because of its power, but because of its persistence.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
when you start really thinking about that, makes a lot of sense. You're just staying the course, being persistent and never quit. And then I remember, so I've been to Niagara Falls, I think 7 or 8 times. Once to visit myself, and then like with friends, and then relatives, and it's like, yeah, a mix of everything. And I remember a couple of years ago when we went there. So on the Canadian side, there was a rock right on the side of. So when the water drops, you could see a rock, um, like a part of it that was coming out, kind of thing, a little bit. And then when we went recently, we went to the same spot. I looked at it, it wasn't there anymore. So it was, yeah, it was super smooth. So
Persistence.
this, yeah, yeah. So this quote played, uh, kind of came into life in a way.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Alex, thanks so much for joining us today. It's fantastic to have you on the show.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for having me on.